Hey everyone, this is Ty with Spicy Exotics. Today we're going to do a taste video of 19 different dragon fruit varieties in front of us. We're going to be sampling every different type of flesh color, and like I said, we're going to be touching on 19 different varieties. With this many fruit, I cannot do this alone, so I brought in a little bit of help from Southern California, our dear friend Donovan Vasta, and my son Grant Miller, who is not necessarily a dragon fruit expert, but he calls it as it is. So he knows nothing about any of these fruit, and if it doesn't taste too well, he'll let us know.
Oh yeah.
So Donovan, what you excited to try today?
I'm most excited to try this fruit right here. This is the Tasty or the Baby Serato. So it's my first time trying it, and I think it's your first time too.
That's right. That's right. In fact, it just started to change colors a couple days ago. So we have a lot more fruit coming out this year. So we'll add those additional descriptions on our website. So some of the things that we're going to touch on these different fruits, all of this information is available on our website at www.spicyexotics.com. So let's get started. How about this red ES1? So this is one of my favorites. It's a sterile variety, typically 1 pound. And when you compare it to the other size fruits, you can see what 1 pound is. So this is about 1 pound. And how are you gonna do, Grant? You want about half?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Take this piece right here.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
This one's pretty.
Very nice color.
It kind of smells like watermelon.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's sweet, a little tart.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and give it a shot, y'all. I'm trying to hold it in to get some of those other varieties.
Very juicy.
It is real good.
I really find that similar to like watermelon.
We picked one a few days ago, and it was a little bit underripe, and it had more acidity to it.
It usually has a very nice balance of acidity and sweetness. So that's what I like about it a lot. On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'd say maybe like a 7.
Really?
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Sure, I give it about the same. You know, it doesn't blow my socks off, but I'd definitely eat it again. I kind of want that other piece. Give it the other.
All right. Next we have Michelle.
All right. This is good. This is good.
Michelle's a round, red-fleshed hybrid.
This one comes out of Simi Valley from Mr. Edgar Valdivia.
Yes. There you go. The flesh looks very firm.
Very firm flesh.
Yeah, it is.
Nice smooth texture. And it's a little bit, I'd say it's about as sweet, but a little less acid. But it's very good.
I'd agree. I'd agree.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I'd say it's about the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say about the same.
Good.
I'd say it's about the same.
So
Good texture. It was nice and
Very
nice and
nice.
firm.
Yeah, very nice texture, very smooth.
we'll mix it up here. We'll go with Natural Mystic. Now, one interesting thing about Natural Mystic is it's a self-fertile red. Very few reds are self-fertile. So it will set fruit on its own.
Nice. That one's kind of like nice and pink.
Here we go.
Like a dark pink.
Very nice. Yeah, it's almost fluorescent looking.
It's been about a little over 5 years since we did a taste test video. We get lots of requests for us to do another video, so this is us playing catch up a little bit for not having tasting videos.
It's definitely got a sweetness in the middle, but I'd give it maybe like about a 6 though. It's a little less flavorful.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
You hit it right on the spot.
Yeah.
Like I said, a little less flavorful, a little more watery, I guess you could say. And but yeah, definitely more like That's even closer to watermelon than that first one was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely very juicy.
Yeah.
All right, next we have Country Roads. Now, Country Roads is a Costa Ricensis variety, and it's typically round in shape. This particular fruit's oblong, and we don't normally get oblong fruit from Country Roads, so this is kind of something unique. So maybe it's packing some awesome flavors like it normally has. This is also one of my top 5 favorites.
Was it top 5?
This is one of my top 5.
Country Roads?
I like Country Roads a lot.
All right, take me home. Take me home.
Nice, sweet.
I like the
Yeah.
acidity, sweetness balance, and I like the flesh. It's nice and firm,
Firm, yeah.
very consistent.
The flavor there comes after your tongue a little bit quicker and
Yeah.
more intense. So that one's definitely got more flavor than the last one.
Yeah. I would agree. Yeah, this one has just a little bit of a punch to it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Almost like a little bit cherry-like.
It definitely lets you know that it's there. It's nice.
Good deal. Scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, if we give the other one a 7, that one's got to get at least an 8. So
Yeah, I'd say at least an 8.
It's the best one, best red yet.
I'd say so.
Next we're gonna try Zamorano. So I'm really excited for Donovan to try this out. He tells me that the Zamorano in California tastes awful. So
It looks awesome.
that hasn't been our experience here in South Louisiana.
Fruit's pretty large, too.
Yeah, it's probably right at a pound.
Like, look at the outside of this thing. It looks super cool.
Very dark skin.
Yeah.
And is Zamorano in California typically, does it not have dark skin?
No, it looks the same, but this is a pretty good-sized fruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did some 10, 11 o'clock pollinations on most of these fruits. So some of our purples are a little smaller than what we're used to seeing.
Very watermelon.
Yeah.
Like very watermelon. Like, wow.
It's the seeds are like softer. Like you can really kind of.
It looks like the seeds may be germinating in there.
Yeah. The seeds kind of are like very soft and they have like a sort of kind of punch. But as far as taste goes, not as good as the Country Roads. I'd say.
Yeah, I would say I put this one around a 6 though. It's good.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say I'd give it maybe like a 6.5. Yeah.
6.5.
6.5.
All right.
Doesn't measure
And
up with the first ones, but yeah.
we have Vivid Porpua, or am I saying
Potpourri?
Potpourri?
I'm not exactly sure how to say it. This is my first time trying this too.
Okay. I've only had a couple of these fruits in the past. And Donovan and I were talking, and this variety is very, very similar to Michelle, both the plant and the fruit. And as you can see, they resemble each other in size. So these could potentially be the same and were named by different individuals. Here you go, Grant. Or it's they use similar crosses when creating that particular hybrid.
Oh, this one does not smell good.
Yeah, actually,
It does not smell good.
the seeds are kind of hard too. Like really weird. Now it was very overripe though. That's the other thing. The fruit had ruptured when we picked it.
Yes.
So that could be.
Most of these are harvested probably a day or two earlier than we normally pick them. But this particular fruit was ruptured, so it was a little overripe.
I give it like a 3.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 or 2. It's not.
The other thing I want to add, even though fruits can be drastically different, so you can have
Right.
some good and bad fruit. So just because they're giving it a thumbs down on this particular taste testing, we won't give up on it. We'll try it again.
Yeah, it's the first fruit, the only fruit on the plant, and it was like vastly overripe, so that could have a lot to do with that.
Sure. Good input there, D. This next
What we got here?
fruit is Armando.
Armando.
Alright. This one looks nice. That looks really nice on the side.
Armando is a Costa Ricensis hybrid.
That's good.
It's a commercial variety in Central America, and taste has some hints of Country Roads. I find it's maybe not as good as country roads.
Yeah,
You're hitting the nail right on the head.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's been my experience with it, but still a very good fruit.
Still very good, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a solid. I mean, that's just as good as country roads in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Very
I'd eat
close.
that again in a heartbeat.
So how y'all doing on dragon fruit filling?
I'm feeling great.
All right, so where we want to go next? We want to try something exotic.
I don't know. Take me on the ride.
Well, how is your taste buds going? How?
Can I get some water?
That's some bubbly water.
That's good.
Yeah, let's go for something sweet. Yeah. Let's go for some purple.
All right.
Let's do it.
So we have over here purple variety called Purple Haze, one of Paul Thompson's hybrids. One of the first varieties we collected at Spicy Exotics. This is a nice sized fruit. We normally get them a little bit bigger than this, but this isn't a bad size.
I picked it a little bit on the greener side.
It is a little greener, I see that, but probably the flesh will be a lot more firmer. I'm sure it's going to be pleasant.
That's like so good. That's exactly the texture you want too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, just basically picking it a day or two after it changed colors a little bit.
Wow.
That center is very, very sweet.
Wow.
And a nice complex flavor.
All right.
Then toward the outside you get more of that tartness, but just texture wise it's very good.
With the this one's, I find it's juicy as well, just like those. The juice has more actual punch to it. You know? It's not just more watery. This was, every little bit is extremely flavorful. That's really good.
It's really good.
That's really
It's
good.
a classic.
That's Purple Haze.
This is Purple Haze.
Oh yeah.
The
That's
tanginess, it needed to be on the vine a couple more days.
You're saying it gets better than that?
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Next we have a seedling of Purple Haze. This is Dark Star. This is also
A sister.
we harvest this a little early for the purpose of this video. So this is also a little bit smaller sized fruit. This is probably about half a pound, if that.
Let's see. Got some little spines on there. You got me.
It's good, but a little less flavor. I think that could do with when we picked it, and also the size of the fruit too. It's a smaller fruit, but it's still very good though, very high quality. It's interesting because the Paul Thompson varieties, S1 through S9, seem to still be some of the best varieties around.
Yeah, they are.
Even out of the hundreds of varieties of dragon fruit, what he contributed seems to be some of the best even to this day.
He did a great job. Next we have Halley's Comet. And one of the things about Halley's Comet, we'll typically see it purple on the outside with a slightly pink inside and a very consistent fruit. It typically isn't it doesn't pack that punch in comparison to Physical Graffiti or Purple Haze or Dark Star, but still an all-around pretty good fruit.
It looks gorgeous.
It is ripe to perfection. So
yeah, let's get to it.
Let's see what y'all say about it, boys.
Yeah, it's cool. Like you said, it's got that sort of pink
Smells nice.
center. Wow.
Reminds me of lychee.
Lychee.
Yeah, tastes a little bit of a floral note to it, and
Yeah.
that's a nice, a little bit softer texture. I think because it's
Definitely
more
softer, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more ripe, so it's a little less firm, but still really tasty. Very nice sweetness, a lot of juice.
Yeah, I don't want to say like gelatinous, but yeah, like softer.
We did find that some dragon fruit, mostly whites, will get heat damage to them, and the flesh will become gelatinous. Halley's Comet is one of those varieties that we noticed that it can become gelatinous as well. So it carries that undated trait over that typically when you're experiencing a hot summer, it'll basically ruin the fruit. It won't bring in all those aspects that you really like about dragon fruit.
I think it's the prettiest one so far, though.
You like that?
Very nice color. Yeah.
So next we're gonna go for some pinks.
Yeah, let's go for some pinks.
All right. This variety is Delight. This is another Paul Thompson seedling, and it is a pink flesh variety.
Sweet.
Typically about a pound. Interesting about Delight is in Louisiana, we find this variety to be self-fertile. However, in California, it's not.
No, not in my experience, and not in the experience of a few people I know.
In fact, we've not only gotten Delight to fruit on its own, but we got it to fruit during a 12-hour rain period. So the pollen was saturated. The fruit wasn't very large, but it did set fruit. So what that did was that calmed all the insects down, so there was less chances of it pollinate or critters coming in and pollinating the fruit. How'd y'all like that?
It was good. It was sweet.
Scale of 1 to 10?
Delightful.
Delightful.
I mean, yeah, give it a little 7.
Yeah.
Give it not as good as these. It's hard to come off of these though. These were great. So,
Okay.
Very great.
Yeah, that's a solid 7.
All right. Next we have a pale pink.
That's pink.
Yeah,
It's barely pink.
it's barely pink.
looks pretty
Not
light.
sure how it's going to show up in the video, but this variety's name is Maria Rosa.
Ooh, okay. Sounds elegant.
Sorry.
Ooh, smells earthy. Does not taste earthy though.
Yeah.
That is good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we ran into some information recently that this may also be one of Paul Thompson's seedlings. So we're still tracking down some information, but potentially we may have found one of Paul's missing seedlings. The next we have Townsend Pink. This is very consistent, also self-fertile, which by the way, all our pinks are self-fertile except, well, how about we just mention Delight's self-fertile, and so is Maria Rosa. And so is Townsend Pink. Townsend Pink's flowers, I find, are a little bit on the smaller side, and I find that kind of interesting. They have small flowers for the size fruit it produces. This is about a 1 pound fruit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like
Very different flavor.
very different flavor. Like, would you say that's more floral? Like it's, yeah, it kind of tastes like a
Definitely
flower.
floral.
Yeah.
What's funny is that was picked more on the greenish side too. That was picked more on the underripe side. Yeah, very, very floral.
It's
It's
not as
sweet.
Very sweet.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not
not as firmer as these two. It's like almost like a, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more separated,
But man, that's
but it's good.
that flavor instantly, like that's cool. I give that a solid 8.
Good deal.
Very good. Yeah.
Lots of people pick up Townsend Pink. It's one of the best dragon fruits for beginners, for its self-fertile properties and nice sized fruit. So pretty much you plant this guy and you don't have to mess with it and it'll set fruit.
I mentioned Big Dave Townsend. He was the one who discovered this variety.
That's right.
Yeah.
Next we have Kathy Van Arm.
Ooh.
Pale pink variety, self-sterile.
Alright.
Let's see.
Let's try this one.
Let's see what kind of flavors come from this.
This one's fun.
Smells some
It
flavor.
smells incredible. That's some good stuff. Wow.
Very good, very sweet.
Very different, just like that one was, you know? Very different flavor.
So Kathy Van Arm's a much different fruit. It has a Stenopteris gene in it, which typically the Stenopteris has coconut flavor. So what would you what type of flavor you say you're experiencing there, Grant?
It's like it's just an interesting kind of sweetness.
Yeah.
What kind of sweetness is that? It's like
It's hard to pick up on it, but very, I would say very melony, kind of almost like cantaloupe-like. You've got a little bit of an extra flavor there. You do taste a little bit of that coconutness as well.
I wouldn't say it's too strong, but it's also, it's not weak, like and it just sits on the tongue kind of nice. It's cool. It's cool.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, that one's got to get at least an 8. I mean, that
Wow.
I mean, that was
So one
great.
interesting thing about
Or 8 or 9.
Kathy Van Orm is this plant has produced really well for us for the first 3 years we had it. And then we moved. And during the move, we moved about 20 minutes north, and we're experiencing different behavior in the plant. So one of the things that we've had to do with this particular variety is we repropagated it. It developed some disease, and it's really hard to control. And it's sitting right next to all its brothers and sisters, and it's the only one that that's experiencing that. So very interesting as far as its growing aspects, but it's definitely worth it for the fruit. Next, we're going to try Asunta 2, which is another one of Edgar Valdivia's hybrids of the second series of his Asunta line.
Yep.
I see it.
And I haven't tried this either, so I'm going to go.
Is there a reason why it looks like that?
Could be where it was hanging on the vine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been hanging for quite a while. It's hard to pick when to pick some of these varieties because they tend to be ripe even on the more green stage. How's this one?
Wow.
It's kind of sloshy.
A little bit. It might have been a little overripe, but very good. Very sweet. Pretty amazing flavor.
I have the hint of the coconut.
A little bit. Similar to the Kathy Van Orm, but it's got a little bit of a different flavor. If you want to try.
Definitely kind of tropical.
Definitely tropical.
Definitely tropical, but I'm also noticing that the flesh kind of dissolves, like almost to a powder.
It's sloshy, like
Yeah.
powder. Yeah, that's a good kind of a good way to put it.
So flowers, plant characteristics, fruit. Asunta 2 is very much similar to Kathy Van Orm.
It looks similar.
Yeah, and we can see here the resemblance. So from a flavor, standpoint, the flavor's good, but I don't know if I like the grittiness at the end. It's not like a hard gritty. It's
Is that typical of it though?
it's first time I tried.
It's the first time, and I think it may be a little overripe. I would go a little bit more green
Because
on these.
because it looked, you saw like, you see that it looks a little,
Yeah.
like, what are these clear spots on it, you know?
Yeah,
Is that just because of the time you picked it or something? Or?
it could be bruised too.
Yeah.
Donovan picked the fruit, so
We'll give that one a pass.
we'll take that out of his paycheck.
The flavor-wise,
Yeah, that's the only one so far that kind of had that sort of texture, but the flavor, yeah, I mean, very similar to this one.
All right, next we have White Sapphire.
Sick.
So it's another pink variety.
Man, why is it called White Sapphire, dude?
Someone gave it the name White Sapphire.
Okay.
There's very few pinks. In fact, I think we're trying just about all our pinks that we have available.
yeah.
Most pinks are self-fertile. White Sapphire falls in that category. Typically, well, I'll let y'all give me your feedback before I explain what my experience has been.
It's a little on the bland side.
Yeah, not too impressive.
I'd say around like a 5, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Right in the middle, 4 or 5.
So I find it has some characteristics of a Vietnamese white, where it tends to be a little sour.
Definitely so.
I didn't get much sour.
No. It may also be the size fruit, but it's one of those that's easy to grow, makes a pretty fruit. Also, all of these would be much better chilled. These are straight off the vine.
Yeah, we have been out here for a little while.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting variety coming up.
Yes, this is a variety we collected in Hawaii on the island of Maui called Hana.
Yeah, that one looks really pretty.
Snow White.
Yeah, the contrast with it's like super white, and it's the skin, right? Yeah, the skin's like very, very red. Pink.
Very interesting smell.
It smells earthy. Oh my god. Wow, that's incredible. Is it? Yeah.
Do I have to break out the refractometer?
Dude, you should.
I'll check it.
That's so good. Man, I wasn't expecting that. And it even has a little bit of earthiness to it, and it's still good.
Yeah.
You know?
It's got a very unique
Wow.
flavor. It's almost a flavor you almost can't describe, but it's a flavor that you don't typically taste in dragon fruit.
I mean, normally because you've had some fruit that are super earthy. None of these so far have been like that. But this one's been the most earthy so far, but it's so good. Like, it works really well. It doesn't turn me off at all.
Well, Mr. Cameraman, that didn't work out. Never gotten an error before.
Smooth sailing, smooth sailing.
That one was really good.
Let's try that.
Very good.
While you guys try another variety. This is yellow Thai. It's a very small fruit, so
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is y'all just need to each devour half of this.
Okay.
Right. Yellow Thai is a cross between
Look how that's
an
so
undatus species and the Columbiana yellow megalathus species.
Looks like a banana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got a very nice sweetness to it.
Definitely gets you in the back of the mouth.
A little lemony. Yeah, a little lemony.
That's cool.
So how would you rate the Hana? We had all these adjectives thrown out on a scale of 1 to 10.
Dude, honestly, that Hana might be my favorite.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's up there with the physical. What's this? The
Purple haze.
Purple
yeah.
Haze and the Country Roads. Those have been my 3 favorites so far. Those are
Yeah.
all great.
That's not working.
Can we cut this one again? I want to try the rest of that.
Yeah.
It's really good, man. And like, I never would have expected that flavor from the smell it gave off, you know?
Yeah, it's a flavor that's very unique. Like, I've never had that flavor in
To
a
wrap
dragon
up,
fruit.
yeah, to wrap up our taste testing here, we're gonna try
Wow.
Tasty. Our first fruit.
Yeah.
There you go, bud.
Thank you. Very excited for this one.
Alright, I'm gonna finish this Hana real quick. Wow.
Wow. It's got a very unique texture, unique flavor.
It is different. Small, crunchy seeds.
Oh yeah.
Slightly tart.
Picked a little bit early, I think.
Yeah, the tartness is the first thing I get.
That's probably due to harvesting it slightly early.
I say it almost tastes like a fig.
It's
Yeah.
Almost.
And it's got a little bit of a chew back to it as
Yeah.
well. It's got a little bit of
very
a nice,
firm,
nice firmness.
even though it doesn't look like it would be firm, but it's definitely
this is very slimy on this.
yeah. That's where I'm getting that
Yeah.
that texture.
Because most of these, they're kind of like dry, but the skin in the middle is super slimy.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to do some more testing with this guy. We wanted to bring it in to this sample video, so harvested a little early again, but we're hoping that it's going to taste much better than it actually did. So, Grant, can you give us your top 3? And put you on the spot.
This tasty is actually really cool. Like, I thought that was really interesting.
It's very different.
It's very different, very unique.
Yeah. Man, top 3. I mean, I gotta do the Haze right here. This is so good. I have to give it to the Hana as well, and like I said, the Country Roads. Those three were just outstanding.
Great, great. How about you, Donovan? What you think?
Yeah, I would say Country Roads, definitely very, very good. I like that one a lot.
This one was
Hana.
really good too.
Yeah, Townsend Pink was
Townsend
very good.
Pink was really good too.
And I guess the third one, yeah, I'd have to go with like, I'll say Purple Haze. Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow,
to round out the top 5, it'd be these two as well. Like, I mean, the tasty. I don't know. They're so good. They're all so good, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this concludes our video for tasting 19 different dragon fruit varieties.
Cool.
Stay tuned for more tasting videos on some different varieties as they become available. You can purchase any of these plant materials throughout all 50 states in the United States at www.spicyexotics.com. Thanks for watching.